Let's start the chapter 3rd of Geography, Mineral and Power Resources. I am your social science digital mentor and let's start the chapter. Minerals and power resources are the basis for the growth and development of industries in a country. Today, nations are driven by the desire to become industrially and technologically developed. In this chapter, we will know about the role played by important minerals and power resources on development. इस चैप्टर में हम पढ़ेंगे कि कैसे मिनरल जो है पावर रिसोर्सेज बनते हैं और कैसे मिनरल्स हमारे डेवलपमेंट का और ग्रोथ का किसी भी नेशन के लिए, ना कि सिर्फ हमारे लिए, कारण बनते हैं, क्योंकि मिनरल्स का यूज इंडस्ट्रीज में होता है और इंडस्ट्रीज की वजह से डेवलपमेंट होता है। तो इस चैप्टर में हम मिनरल्स की इंपॉर्टेंस को जानेंगे। Minerals are the naturally occurring substances that have definite chemical composition. Important minerals have played of human civilization. Therefore, various stages of human development have been named after minerals such as Stone Age, Copper Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age. Their chemical composition may consist of one or more elements. Minerals are not evenly distributed on the Earth's surface. They are concentrated in a particular area. Some of these areas might even be inaccessible, such as under Himalayan mountains or the Arctic Ocean belt. A mineral from which a metal is obtained is called an ore. About 2,800 minerals have been identified so far. Deposits may remain unexploited for lack of favorable factors, for example, lack of transport and communication, lack of requisite technology, danger to ecology of the region or other similar conditions. Importance of minerals. Different kinds of products like the household utensils and fuel in our daily life. Mineral resources have been exploited and used since prehistoric times. Copper was the first metal to be used. Later, the use of iron revolutionized the life of man. Modern industrial development depends upon the utilization of minerals. Minerals are vitamins of industry. Most minerals are inorganic substances and mineral oil are organic minerals and are found at places that have favorable conditions for their distribution on the earth. Characteristics of minerals. Some of the characteristics of minerals are: first, location. Minerals are found in areas of active geological processes. For example, in the Chota Nagpur region of India, geological processes operating beneath the ground have led to the accumulation of various mineral elements which can be commercially exploited. Second, quantity and quality minerals. They are generally inversely proportional to each other. Third, placer deposits. There are alluvial mineral deposits or concentration which occur small particles carried by rivers along with the other sediments. Placer deposits are chiefly found in the case of gold and platinum. Number 4. Ores. Metallic minerals like iron and even gold occur in ores or in veins, beds or seams parallel to enclosing rock. This makes exploitation commercially profitable. 5. Uneven distribution. Minerals are dispersed and unevenly distributed. There are great variations between abundant and scanty deposits of classification. Different criteria are adopted for classification of minerals such as origins, use, physical and chemical characteristics as well as their ductility. Here we shall use ductility as the basis of classification. Ductility means ability of a material to be stretched without being weakened. Based on ductility, minerals are classified into metallic and non-metallic minerals. So here is the table in which we can see the classification of minerals. Minerals, metallic, non-metallic, in between metallic minerals, ferrous and non-ferrous minerals. The difference between metallic and non-metallic minerals are here in this table. You can see the differences between the metallic and non-metallic minerals. You can read them by yourselves. Both metallic and non-metallic minerals can be mined economically where their concentration is high. Some materials also occur under ocean floor. They cannot be mined. Inaccessibility and high cost involved. Therefore, most minerals are put to use from land deposits. Extraction of minerals. Space exploration in recent years have widened the scope of commercial extraction of minerals in all the three spheres of Earth: lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. The subject that deals with chemical composition of the Earth is called geochemistry. This subject is fast developing. It helps in extraction of useful minerals. The method of taking out minerals from rocks buried under the Earth's surface is known as mining. A typical method of extraction of minerals is shown in the given figure. Extraction of minerals by three different ways: mining, drilling, quarrying, and undermining, open cast mining, and shaft mining. Mining. The method of mining used for taking out minerals from shallow depths near the surface of the earth is known as open cast mining. Deep bores are called shafts. Minerals are taken out from great depths through shaft mining. Petroleum and natural gas, which occur in deep bores, have to be extracted from deep wells. Drilling. The minerals which are extracted by boring deep wells have to be taken out. Quarrying. The process is used near the surface of the earth by simply digging out or breaking rocks. In this picture, we can see different mining activities in shaft mining, drilling, and quarrying. Do you know? A geologist is a scientist who studies and analyzes the structure and composition of the earth and helps to discover new reserves of mineral resources. Any mining operation consists of four stages: prospecting, exploration, development, and exploitation. Prospecting means surveying and searching for resource. Exploration means conducting the actual search for extraction and even deciding on the type of mining method, like a vertical shaft or a horizontal tunnel. Development means establishing the necessary infrastructure for extraction of minerals on the earth's surface or beneath it. Exploitation involves commercial extraction of minerals. It is important to remember that commercial exploitation is based on accessibility and actual concentration of the mineral. It is for this reason that mining is restricted to areas where exploitation is commercially feasible. World distribution of minerals. The distribution of minerals around the world highlights because of differences in geological formation. Silica, feldspar, and quartz come from igneous rocks. Metallic minerals are generally found in the metamorphic rocks. Many other occur in the sedimentary rock strata. The sedimentary rock formation of plains and young fold mountains may contain non-metallic minerals like limestone. Mineral fuels are also found in the sedimentary rocks. Therefore, regions having sedimentary rock strata may have more fossil fuel deposits. Minerals are widely distributed in the following continents. Asia. Asia has more than half of world's tin. China, Indonesia, Malaysia are among the leading producers of tin. Other deposits include lead, antimony, tungsten, manganese, bauxite, copper, nickel, and zinc. Europe. Europe has rich deposits of iron ore in Russia, Ukraine, Sweden, and France. Other minerals like copper, zinc, lead, manganese, and nickel are found in European part of Russia and Eastern Europe. North America. North America has rich deposits of mineral in Canadian Shield, the Great Lakes region, and the Appalachian region. Some of the non-minerals in the continent are iron ore, nickel, gold, uranium, coal, copper, lead, and zinc. South America. South America has large deposits of gold, silver, zinc, chromium, manganese, bauxite, mica, platinum, and diamond, as well as minerals. Here in this map, you can see the world distribution of minerals. Africa is rich in diamond, gold, and platinum. They are found in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. Mineral oil is found in Nigeria, Libya, and Angola. Copper, iron, chromium, and uranium are other minerals found in Africa. Australia. Australia is the largest producer of bauxite in the world and leading producer of copper, lead, zinc, and manganese. The Western Australian region of Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie are some promising areas. Antarctica. The exploration of minerals is still in process. Believed that it is huge deposit of coals, iron, gold, silver, and minerals. World distribution of selected minerals. First, iron. Iron is the most important mineral in the world. It has hardness, strength, and ductility. It is the most common metallic element found in the Earth's crust. When the metal was first discovered around 1200 BC, it had led to rapid growth of the kingdoms, empires, and civilizations. Its earliest use was for making tools and weapons. Today it is widely used in making of machines, in construction industry, railway, road, transport, etc. Its three chief ores are hematite containing 70% by weight, magnetite containing 50 to 70% iron by weight, and iron pyrite, a widespread sulfide mineral found in all types of rocks. There are also other varieties with metallic content of less than 30% which are not profitable to mine. Iron ore resources are unevenly distributed among its leading producers like Ukraine, USA, Kazakhstan, Russia, China, Brazil, Australia, and India. Copper. Copper is the oldest metallic mineral mined during the Copper Age before the coming of the civilization. It is a versatile metal known for its high conductivity. It is mostly used in electrical industry as copper wires are good conductor of electricity. Its main producing countries are Chile, USA, Canada, Namibia, Zaire, Russia, Kazakhstan, Georgia, and bauxite. It is the ore from which aluminium is obtained. Aluminium is lightweight and preferred to iron in its usage. The major producers of bauxite are Jamaica, France, Australia, and US. Map you can see the distribution of minerals in India. The distribution of mineral resources in India is highly uneven. The distribution of metallic and non-metallic minerals in India are given below in this table. You can read this table and know which mineral to in India of minerals. The uses of mineral are wide and varied. First, iron make up for about 95% of all metals consumed worldwide. It is used to make steel products like automobile industry, buildings, etc. Second, consumption pattern between developed and developing countries is highly disproportionate. For example, developed countries like USA, Western Europe and Japan collectively use up to 70% of all aluminium, whereas developed countries together form just 16% of the world's population. Minerals like bauxite used for making aluminium in great demand for making engines and bodies of automobiles and aeroplanes. Bauxite is also used in bottle industry and kitchen utensils. Metal provides man with all his machines as well as needs for his dwelling units. If the population continues to grow like this, the Earth's resources may not be able to cope up. Conservation. Two main conservation measures related to mineral are first, recycling. Almost all metals like iron, gold, silver, etc. can be recycled easily again and again. Many such recycling processes are already in operation. Second, biodegradable synthetic substitutes. Plastic cannot be considered an eco-friendly substitute because it is non-biodegradable. However, biodegradable substitutes have recently been discovered. Sources. Energy is the most important of all resources. It provides us heat, lighting, and motive power to run transport, vehicles, industries, various gadgets, and communication aids. Though it has been used since time eternity, today it is considered as the survival of human race. Energy is required nowadays in practically every aspect of our lives such as agriculture, industry, transport, communication, and for domestic. At present, the world gets 84% of energy needs from fossil fuels. The remaining 16% is contributed by hydroelectricity and nuclear power, including renewable energy sources. This is shown pie chart. Thermal power stations also use coal as basic raw material for turning turbo engines to generate electricity. Energy consumptions and standard of living. Energy consumption is directly proportional to the standard of living. Higher the standard of living, greater is the energy consumption. Countries such as USA, Japan, West Germany, France and UK use between 4,000 to 10,000 units of energy per head as against just 100 to 300 units of energy consumption per in countries like Zaire, Ethiopia, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Myanmar, India, China and Pakistan. India's consumption per head does not exceed 225 units as against 270 units for China and 300 units in Pakistan. Coal, mineral oil, and natural gas are known as fossil fuels. All the three are derived from rocks, so they are also known as mineral fuels. If consumption of all fossil fuels were considered in terms of coal equivalent, the world consumption has increased manyfold in the last few years. A major part of increase in consumption is due to a rapid growth in population, and another part is due to industrialization and rise in the standard of living during the same period. Sources of energy. The sources of power which are in common use for the conventional firewood, coal, petroleum, natural gas, and electricity. First, firewood. About half of the total world's population lives in the developing countries. The traditional sources like firewood, charcoal, dung, crops reduces for domestic fuel. Forest supplies about 30% of fuel of the world. Wood is a major source of domestic fuel, and firewood is largely used for heating and cooking in our country. Here are the uses advantages of firewood. Then are the advantages and disadvantages of firewood and mineral oil. Here you can see distribution of coal fields in the world. Coal. Coal occurs in the sedimentary rock layers of varying thickness. The coal is found in three main grades on the basis of its formation, viz. Lignite, bituminous, and anthracite. The first stage of formation is lignite and peat. It is known as brown coal. It is considered to be a low quality coal with carbon content of 50% and high moisture content. Bituminous coal is the most common variety having 70% carbon content. Anthracite is formed under great depths due to high temperature. It is high quality coal. The distribution of the known coal reserves is highly uneven in the world. Major coal deposits are found in Czech Republic, United States, China, India, and some CIS countries. In the southern hemisphere, Australia and South Africa have also some small deposits. China is the largest coal producer in the world. In developed countries of West Europe and USA, more than half of the total consumption of coal is used by thermal power stations. In developing countries, besides thermal power generation, coal is still used by many industries, commercial establishments, and households for heating and cooling. Major coal reserves are found in West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Maharashtra. It also found in Assam, Meghalaya, and Nagaland. Lignite coal is mainly found in Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and some areas in Rajasthan. Coal is the chief source of power generation as well as energy source for many industries. It is still widely used in rural India. Third, petroleum. It is also known as mineral oil. The first oil well was drilled in USA in 1859. Petroleum was then used in the form of a kerosene oil for lighting. Initially, more than half of the crude oil was discarded as waste. Today, petroleum and its wastes are put to hundreds of uses. In this map, distribution of mineral oil in the world. The major mineral oil reserves are found in these five countries: Mexico, Russia, Venezuela, Libya, Nigeria, and the Gulf region. They together account for 90% of world's known reserves. Other countries having substantial reserves are the USA, UK, and Norway. This explains certain political maneuvers and economic factors behind oil exports. The USA, with its high consumption of oil, is the world's major importer of oil. The largest number of oil refineries are located in the USA, followed by CIS countries and Western Europe. In India, the first oil well was found in Assam. Today, oil fields are located at Bombay High, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Godavari and Krishna Delta. India meets its requirement through imports. Fourth, natural gas. Natural gas may occur independently or in association with petroleum. It originates from hydrocarbons trapped in the pores of sedimentary rocks and then it undergoes processing. The heavier hydrocarbons, butane and propane, are extracted in liquid form. Dry gas containing methane and ethane is used as fuel. Natural gas has many advantages as a fuel as it is considered very clean. It is then compressed in containers which are closely controlled and made available as domestic and transport fuel. Fuel used in gas stoves for cooking is called LPG or liquefied petroleum gas. Its chief constituent is butane. The compressed natural gas CNG is compressed at high temperature and stored in containers. It is used in commercial transport vehicles like buses, trucks, scooters, and even cars. It consists mainly of methane and smaller amounts of ethane and propane. It is now gradually replacing petrol in transport vehicles. Around the world, CIS countries have the highest reserves of natural gas, followed by the Middle East countries, Asia, Africa, North America, and Australia in that order. In recent years, India has made significant progress in the production and utilization of natural gas. Some private firms have also been involved in exploration and processing of natural gas. Besides fuel, it is also used in the production of fertilizers and certain drugs. Power resources. Power is rate of consuming energy. Most of the world's electricity is produced in power stations from the chemical energy of fossil fuels, coal, oil and natural gas. The heat water into steams which drives a turbine linked to an electric generator. Electricity generated by power stations using fossil fuels is known as thermal electricity. In a nuclear power station, the heat comes from the fusion in a nuclear reactor. Hydroelectricity is electricity generated by the force of falling or running water. Thus, the three main sources of electric power are thermal, hydro, and nuclear. Electricity. Thermal electric power stations can be coal-based, petroleum-based, or gas-based. Thermal electricity has the largest share of world production and consumption. Developed countries like USA, CIS countries, and West Europe are the highest producers and consumers of thermal electric power. USA, Canada, CIS countries, and Brazil also have high rates of production of hydro and nuclear power. Second, hydroelectricity. The hydroelectric power stations involve high cost and take a very long time for construction as they need capital investment. Heavy investment is also required for construction of dams and raising the level of water besides the land for sprawling power stations. It is the chief source of power in Zaire, Congo, Zambia, Ghana, Uganda, Malawi, Cameroon, and Tanzania in Africa. All of these countries are located in the Central Plateau region where rivers are famous for their rapids and falls. These rivers provide ideal sites for location of hydroelectric power generation units. The same is true about Paraguay and Norway in Europe, Brazil in South America, and Nepal in Asia. In India, large number of multi-purpose river valley projects have been developed to produce electricity. Some of them are Bhakra Nangal, Hirakud, Damodar Valley Corporation, Narmada Valley, Nagarjun Sagar, and Koyna are such. Third, nuclear power. Lithuania and France are heavily dependent on nuclear power. No sudden nuclear reactor failures have been reported in these two countries. India. In India, the power generation is of mixed, utilizing almost all the available sources. Presently, the percentage contribution of four major sources is given: hydroelectric power 2.5, wind energy 1.3, thermal 71, and nuclear 2.7. Non-conventional sources of energy. The non-conventional sources of energy are gaining importance due to increase in the demand for energy and fast depletion of conventional energy sources. This energy is abundant, renewable, pollution-free, and eco-friendly. It can more easily be supplied to rural, urban, and remote areas. Thus, it is called the energy of the future. Some important non-conventional sources of energy are: first, hydrogen. For many years, efforts have been on to use hydrogen as an alternative sources of power as it has great advantages. It can be tapped in abundance. However, some problems have not yet been overcome. Recently, India has, however, made some important breakthrough in developing fuel cells. They produce electricity through reaction between hydrogen and oxygen gases. Otherwise, hydrogen promises to be the energy of the future. The rise and fall of seawater in the coastal areas are called tides. The energy from high and low tides is used to turn the turbines and generate electricity. But the technology is not fully developed, however, their energy potentials is enormous. B. Ocean energy. The oceans have temperature gradients producing waves and currents which can also be used for electricity generation. In case of temperature gradient, differences in temperature of warm surface water and cold deep level water in oceans is used to vaporize liquids like ammonia. The gas is then fed into turbines to generate electricity. C. Wind energy. India has made a substantial progress in the making use of winds to generate electricity. Windmills have been used for centuries. At the global level, wind generating capacity has risen from 10 megawatts in 1980 to 4,000 megawatts in 2007. The gross wind power potential is estimated 45,000 megawatt. The potential that can be tapped at present is limited to about 13,000 megawatt. A capacity of 2,483 megawatt has so far been added through wind, which places India in the fifth position globally after Germany, USA, Denmark and Spain. In India, coastal regions of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep have great potential for trapping wind energy. Mirrors are used to focus sun's energy on the boiler stream to use to generate by spinning the turbine. Photovoltaic cells convert the sunlight directly into electricity. India is one of the 6 countries of the world which has been developed its own indigenous technology in solar power generation. Its capacity of generation represents 7% of the world production. Solar energy is presently used for water heating, cooking, room heating, and in commercial applications such as irrigation pumps, street lighting, and traffic crossing. Geothermal. It is the energy that comes from heat produced within the interior of the earth. There is a vast reservoir of heat energy in the interior of the earth. The earth's temperature rises by 1 degree Celsius for every 32-meter descent. Various technologies have been developed to use this potential source of energy. For example, El Salvador produced 39% of its electricity needs from this source. India has identified 340 hot springs and set up a 300 kilowatt capacity of geothermal power plant at Tatapani in Chhattisgarh. Yes. The gaseous fuel called biogas can be obtained from the organic waste, which includes dead plants, animated dung, and kitchen waste. Biogas is mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. These gases are released due to decomposition of organic waste. This can also produce organic manure. The gas can be used for cooking, heating, and lighting. India is the leader in development of this technology. Conservation of energy is essential, although harnessing it is both difficult and expensive. Each of us can make a contribution in the following ways. First, avoid wastage. Avoid the wastage of electricity when not required. Switch off the lights and other power sources before you leave your home or office. Similar waste can be avoided with driving automobiles. Use of non-conventional sources. Make use of renewable energy sources to run your domestic appliances like water heaters, cookers, and other appliances. Contact private or government sources for supply of renewable energy. Say no to polluting vehicles. Don't use public transport system not conforming to pollution standards. Get your own vehicle checked regularly and get a pollution control certificate (PUC). The world is going through a kind of crisis because of exhaustion of most of the minerals, including fossil fuels. No viable substitutes have been developed for future generations. Thank you, class. Let's meet again in the next chapter.